Let's dance.
Look up there! That's the Jade Chamber! This is bad. Paimon's supposed to be... Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, let's look around. There has to be a... Hey, look! Since this is the right place, it must have something to do with... No way! Just trust... Ha! Huh? It only takes us up... Aw, if that wind current was stronger, we'd be able to reach... Huh? Why? Or... Oh, Pine! Alright, let's Oh. It looks like we've gotten close. Why don't we shoot you up to the Jade Chamber? Oh, right. Oh, that's... Now that you mention it...
I'll keep this close.
Phew.
Halt! Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
Exactly. We're invited guests. What make... No. Wait. Maybe she pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber. Now Paimon's mad.
What? We're just on guard.
What nonsense! Seize these...
Well, here they...
This isn't good! Higher, higher, hands on fire!
Who goes there?
Nice
Attack!
and spicy.
I'll protect us. Cross over!
Take the trouble!
Out of the frying pan.
Bested!
Stop! What's all this about?
Lady Coaching, these two strange people suddenly...
Who are you calling strange?
You want to go to the Jade Chamber?
We're invited guests, here to look for the Liyue.
Well, as it happens, I am one of the Liyue Qixing.
Oh,
I'm Kuching, the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know of you, traveler. You're Ningguang's guests, yes?
wow. Paimon didn't think we'd meet some
The Guizhong Ballista in Tianheng Pass has long been in disrepair. And yet, these Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
So this was all a misunderstanding?
Anyway, for a mortal to be able to repair an
That would... Eh? Oh, right. So, Lady Yuheng,
Just call me Kuching. I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a...
We're not taking sides.
When you say protect, you refer...
Huh?
You are mortals, and thus under their protection. There was no way they would have regarded... Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and I'll say it like it is.
Well, you've gotta... Still, this is the...
Should I respect the shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to... Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. Either way, I will admit that the Rex Lapis's death is indeed an extraordinary circumstance. But to think how surprisingly civilized of them. Well, for Ningguang, she would talk anything and everything. The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to...
Another...
I'll stop here. Honestly, I hadn't intended to say so. You should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop I'll see ascending to the Jade Chamber.
Favor? But... Wait, that's right. Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture.
All right. You can decide on your greeting gift. You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianheng. Go back to Liyue Harbor. Well then, may we meet again, traveler.
Well, that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but... So, what should we give to Oh, right! Paimon dreamed of it. Paimon has a feeling that it would be perfect for us. Why don't we go with that for a gift? Nope! But Paimon's sure that we just need to make it with some boom shakalaka. Let's go gather ingredients! Time waits for no one. Go! Ooh, look at that slime! It looks crystal clear! And very delicious! That's the one! Huh? Is it... Huh? Did you hear that? It seemed like it came from... Uh-oh. It looks like... Let the show begin.
Hunter.
Thank you for your help, kind travelers. If you hadn't come to my aid, I surely would have rotted in this cell. Those treasure hoarders.
Aw, it was nothing.
I understand. Don't say that. I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing jewelry in Liyue. I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on... Is there anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure...
Wait a moment. Actually...
Oh? And what might...
Do you have a box that can store presents?
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing Jewelry, we have the... Now just give me a moment, and I'll let the boss know.
Great! Paimon told us that we could get a nice and shiny box.
Uncle Meng already told me about it. Thank you both for... Many of the best goods in our store were found by Uncle Meng. Here, this container is itself an antique, with at least...
Yep. Hang on a moment.
Sure. Please help yourself.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome. If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, it's done! The one and only sugar-frosted slime!
Oh, yes. You might want to use these.
Woohoo! It looks beautiful! Great! Now that we've put all that we've got... With the wind. With the wind. According to Kuching, excuse me, do you sell the
Yes.
It's not convenient to speak of...
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guess, but for the yuan.
I've been waiting for you, returnee from Joyun.
It's Ningguang! Since this is our first meeting...
Oh, for me. You have my thanks.
Oh no, it's nothing.
I'm glad you like it too. This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. I have been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, one day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 Not many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, who's... As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to...
Wait! Was Virgil dead?
Just Virgil dead? Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours. At the Guizhang Ballista, yeah? I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this out. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people. Well, I wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. I believe that you've heard of the Archon War. Many gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until, in the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Tevat. They built cities and nations on the corpses of the vanquished. You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days. Not only is it true that gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, even in a new era, the Liu Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subject. That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. But our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now, hiding the Exuvia was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back.
Who's this enemy?
What do you think, Traveler?
Huh? What?
Well answered.
Huh?
The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our prep...
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
Be at ease, you two.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play...
Ooh! Isn't this that legendary wall?
Why, you've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
That's because even the storytellers are talking about it.
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no if possible. I'd like to have... But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching... You'd pick Kuching? I originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. Well, I must say that quite a few of... I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But, for Liu's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our usurpation. Indeed. It seems that you understood what I meant to say from the very... I called for the gag order and for the Exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation. With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomat. Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. Wait, that's right.
Of course.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something.
It's all right. I like... Well, we have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently.
Yay! Paimon was just waiting for you to... One of the sheets on that wall. Don't look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for... Just imagine. Let's grab one! The biggest one! Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest La 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 la. Huh? There's a place marked with a circle on here. Sigil of permission, some things. Aw, that doesn't sound... This piece of paper... Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of research on the Sigil of Permission. Speaking of which, there's also some connection between you and the Sigil of Permission. Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely Anyway, before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh... There really were Fatui at the location written down on this piece of paper. And, they look really mad at us, too. Windblade! Boba, get them!
Use this first.
Let the show begin. Time to go!
Let's end this quickly. Finally. Some fire.
Nice and spicy! Help! My dinner is attacking!
I guess this is it.
Boba, get them!
My duty. And
I'll protect us. Nice and spicy.
toxifying heat. An unfortunate fault.
Go! There are so many talismans here. And Paimon's seen this pattern before. Oh, Paimon knows. It looks just like, But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in... Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the talismans like that were once used in the... Maybe the Fatui are copying the sigil, being able to channel divine power in battle? And the plot thickens. Alright, that's the last stop on our ride. Let's go! Phew! Go!
Right on time. Did you enjoy your visit?
It was so big and pretty.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust?
She's super rich and so generous. Yeah, her take on Ningguang is quite different from Pai.
Oh. So you also met with Keqing then?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed.
No respect for the divine. Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions. Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Why, Mora, of course.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She's...
That is how the Fatui have always been. No matter what they may be planning.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of...
Yes, as a matter of fact, they're...
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden... Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Pink...
No. Those lilies have all... Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of... Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded. Of course, There are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that glaze lilies may still be found in the wild. Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers. That's correct. Your singing will...
So how good is your singing? Really? Why doesn't Paimon...
We'll only know once she...
It's time to sing, whenever you're ready. Da 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 da. What happened? These flowers are jumping. They look really angry. Is it because you sang a song to Mondstadt that they don't understand fair wheeler? Get them! Nice and spicy! Those weren't glaze lilies.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long.
Well, that's nice.
Unfortunately...
That's so...
Excuse me. Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Oh, hey! It's... What's it...
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name. Ah, that reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way?
Nope. We found the way on our own.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget.
Something seems a little... She's acting different from the first time we...
Oh, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those... Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days,
Oh...
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7... Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. She is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 30...
So what do you think of this?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since...
Huh? Did you just say...
Yes, I am a mix of human and Chilean. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. Well, let's save that conversation. I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself.
We dare not
Oh, so did you sing a song before you...
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well.
Wow, so you really know your...
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If you would excuse me, I should return to my work now.
And that just about does it. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think...
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him starting a business.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small, so you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself.
Wow. See? Zhongli sounds like... Alright, I think...
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. However, both sides were quite obstinate.
It seems inevitable, given the...
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo Archon. If the...
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give it...
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the land.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must... Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand...
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Heart.
Do you intend to use your neutral... Neither path is it...
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has also been caught.
Things are taking a turn. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler. If you're trying to prevent an...
So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turn, he must be waiting for the moment when no one is... But where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this? Let's dance. Wow! This is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was... This is where all of Teyvat's mora is minted, right? In that case... Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky. Good thing, but even if we can't take... Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of mora! Oh, right! Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick, we have to go...
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross. And you're in— where should I start? Well, I've never been one to beat around the bush, you know. But who could have possibly guessed that the god of Geo would mysteriously— if it weren't for that lovely little rite of parting ceremony you put together, it would have taken— stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are real—
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the...
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, she will get that which she desires. I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, either way, we now come to my favorite part, the battle.
Battle? So you're the type that...
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly— instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her when she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a Harbinger lies—
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen—
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your— Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with the Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
Nice and
Try
spicy.
this. Possible effort.
Oh, no.
You're wide open. Cowering already? Not bad, not bad. Not bad. You've got a trigger. Haha, good. No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger. Gotcha. No use hiding back there. Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected! Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now! I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
This is going to cost you! You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now. Don't make me take it from you.
Really, take it? Into the fire! Oh no! Help! Boba, get them! See? I'll protect us. Nice and spicy. Let's do Boba! Help! We did it!
You're a cut above.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my... And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating... You had no connection to the Gnosis.
That's what we've been trying to tell you!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. You already know the answer, don't you? But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess this battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend. Even if our friendship can only be shown in...
Pretty sure that's not the norm.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the In fact, it might be that the
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting, it seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little As such, we must
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers.
So what are you planning to...
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone...
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the GR Archon in the Archon War. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand
But the Archon War ended 2000...
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey! Those are sigils... Oh, Paimon remembers now!
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our... With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon... Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to... But knowing that such an action will not only force the Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone! That guy is fast! What's going on? did. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just... Did we make it in time?
What are you...
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on...
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our...
Oh, Paimon gets it. Just see...
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without... Which is why we must stop that monster.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000... So will the power of the Qixing,
We've already discussed this together.
What? Would all of you...
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Qixing did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it... And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Gui... For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins Yep.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
Let the show begin.
That seemed to work. Looks like I went too far.
What is that?
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
The ancient god's attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We can't
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the time in Julian Cars! Whoa! It's Madam Pink's shockwave! This blade is really strong!
This.
Be gone!
This is it. Let's move.
You're toast!
This isn't good. This is it.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganyu's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
This isn't good.
You're not going anywhere! Cross over!
This should be my work.
Look at
Disgusting.
Let me amuse myself a little.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Miscalculated.
Be gone!
Cross over! Let the show begin!
Just some quiet.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make—
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limit. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued it is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her.
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such... Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adept...
Oh?
3,700 years. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue...
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing, but I dared not speak.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both. And
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its...
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I can't...
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepta, although I am a mere mortal soldier.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and when danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please, come visit.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like to the country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for, although their blood is weak, there is still the time of contracts between gods and Liyue has...
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place.
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not...
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new... Fair enough. Away we shall. And...
Since we Adepti have consensus, then what? But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit the...
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right...
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti... Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one child wanted to unleash the god. But we were able to handle the over... Oh, and speaking of that, Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshen Funeral Parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangshen...
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he...
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the... Last time we saw Zhongli was... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? We had better go and make sure that Phew.
The key here is consumer psychology. New stock at Ziguantes? Very bad news for my purse.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formality? Oh, it seems...
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And...
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helpless...
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And so it might be best to keep things peaceful this...
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted...
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had... Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well. Nothing personal. We just have different... The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. So actually,
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be... You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be...
What in the world are you talking...
The contract is fulfilled.
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of much! No, wait! That's an exciting...
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing...
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind...
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best, as you know. I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers. I stood motionless among the crowds.
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti. Indeed I was. The Gnosis which I had kept for so many years suddenly... That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return...
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him, too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so...
In the end, the resolution to all that has... Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Arc. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the... All of these things turned out as I had planned. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti. They seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors.
Huh? That doesn't...
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too...
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least...
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this. Wreaking havoc and If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon...
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may. You've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever...
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa.
Ah, fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of...
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade.
Realistically speaking.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the uncover that answer for yourself in your...
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is... fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of part...
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that
Fatui?
Shh! Lower your voice. If the
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of no...
Yes, and to think that this happened right...
Say, do you think the person...
Now that you mention it, that's very... I mean, it all fits together. Still, what sort of super...
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use.
Hear ye all! Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, gods and adepti live glorious lives. But both light and shadow have their season. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
So that's how something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up? Could the Qixing already have known? Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed? Exactly, right? Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying...
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and...
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is...
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far. Name your price.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe...
Why, you... Were you just trying... If you were looking for someone, you could have just...
Roping you in...
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite. There's much that remains to be...
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their... And here you are looking all...
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli.
You're right. I do like the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this... When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that...
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look... But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that make a move and continue our...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma...
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often... But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, this is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the...
That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating...
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's border.
They want to seize visions? But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessing.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to... The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen knowing her. She must have again 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation.